What's going on Facebook? What's happening, guys? What's happening for those who may be watching me on YouTube? Eddie Harvey here, guys, coming to you today with the Entrepreneurs Pab guy. This is part 5. I didn't change the number. But man, I just want to talk to you all about this real quick. I don't have any good, that's better lighting. All right, there we go. Talk to you guys today about the Entrepreneur's Path. Won't be long, guys. And today, getting back into it. If you've watched any of these, now some of these may start off like a little negative. Oh man, camera's a little dirty there. Sorry about that. It may start off seeming not negative, but I'm just talking about the pitfalls and things that we deal with as entrepreneurs. And at the end, if you watch my lives all the way through, you'll notice that it's all about bouncing back. And I always obviously have a positive message to end it with. So that's what it's about. I'm not a negative person, but I'm just stating things I've learned and things I know that as an entrepreneur that you're going to experience. So this is part 5. Tomorrow, probably my last part 6. And what I want to talk about, guys, is understanding you're going to have to deal with disappointments and setbacks. So I apologize for the shakiness here. I'm holding this with my phone, my hand, and not using my tripod. Disappointments and setbacks, all right? They are a necessary part of what you're going to deal with as an entrepreneur. So it's going to boil down to how you respond to it and how you deal with it to move forward, right? So, hey, Rachel, my partner in crime there, Rachel Kelly. If you haven't subscribed to her lives, guys, please do. Rachel Encourager Kelly. But I want to talk really quickly, and here's what you got to understand is that setbacks and disappointments, they're going to happen, right? So let's just say I've done it. I'm sure some of you, Rachel, I'm sure you've done it. Other people watching, you've done it, right? You've made this freaking awesome video. You've done this phenomenal blog post. And this used to be bad with WordPress, but now they have the autosave feature. You've created this great content, right? And then you go to upload it, and you either forgot to save it, or you did a video, the mic was off, or you didn't hit the record button. And you've been talking on and on and on. And you realize, you look up, and then now the content is gone. And that used to be really bad, like back in the day with WordPress when you used to create articles and blog posts. You go to save it and you forgot to hit the autosave. It autosaves now, but it didn't used to have that. Obviously, they created it because this was a problem that people consistently had. And I'm sorry, guys, you hear a lot of noise in the background. My kids are off school today, so it's so loud in the family room. Yes, that used to drive me crazy too, Rachel. I would get so ticked off. And you've worked so hard. You've created all this original content. And what I started doing, I just started copying and pasting and leaving it like in Word, just in case I forgot to save it, because it happened to me several times over. But when stuff like that happens, you're going to be upset. Or let's just say you're building an organization. You're in a network marketing, MLM, direct sales company, whatever, and you have a team, guys. And it can be someone, you know, if you're brand new, it could be the first person you shared the business with. 24 hours later, they may quit. It's happened to me. And you might have a team growing, guys, and one of your leaders decide to go to another company, or, you know, people in your downline just start quitting. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Yeah, Google Doc. I like Google Doc. I use that too. But I still use like I use Page. That's what it is for Mac. But what are you going to do, guys? What are you going to do? Are you just going to quit and throw in the towel? Are you just going to give up on all of your hopes and dreams because you had some little setback? Somebody quit? You know, the video screwed up. Are you just going to say, screw this video, I'm not, and then record, I'm done with it, I'm throwing it in the tank for the day? I've done webinars where I didn't have any audio or the screen was black. I know Rachel's been there. So these are things that's going to happen as an entrepreneur. You're going to have setbacks. And what I love, what I really love, guys, is when stuff like this happens, it shows your true merit. Is going to show your true mettle as a person. Are you going to be able to dig deep and pull yourself back up by the bootstraps, especially if people on your team quit, especially if someone was supposed to join someone else, or they just, you know, back out on you in the last minute? You know, what's going to happen when people leave and go to another company on your team? How are you going to handle all of these things? Are you going to just throw in the towel and just say, I'm going back to my everyday life? You know, I got my job, I'm good, I'm comfortable, I'm just going to do that. Screw this whole entrepreneur home-based business thing. You know, what else is there? What other options do you have? You can look at it where you can go, you can keep on the path that you're on, or you can choose another path. But here's the thing, if you're working a job for somebody else, like most people are, and you continue to choose that path, you're just going to continue to build somebody else's dream and stay on their path. See, as an entrepreneur, part of it's about taking the road less traveled. That road that's like it's empty, has some bumps and bruises on it, it's crowded, nobody's on it, and you're able to get on that road and you're gonna deal with things. But when you get knocked off that road, you got to put yourself back on that road most of the time. There's not going to really be anybody to pull you in and pick you back up, but yourself to keep walking. That road may be a little weary. It may be a little lonely. You might be a little afraid. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you so much for the hearts. Thanks, guys, for the likes. I appreciate it. And if you all are getting value, I would definitely appreciate some likes and some hearts. But you're going to be afraid. If you look at the movies, look at these post-apocalyptic movies, when you see people on the roads, they're walking. Thank you, Cassandra. And people are walking. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, man. And they're walking. You see them on these roads, and they look so lonely. They look so afraid. It's just them by themselves. And it's like, man, how are they walking this path? Well, because they got to continue to move on, because they know they've heard word and they know it's a greater destination ahead, right? But they got to walk this path by themselves sometimes. And that's just the way it is. And speaking of movies, I really enjoy the movies. When you look at movies like Castaway, and I was watching last night. I was kind of watching it, but I was working, so I really wasn't watching it. But the movie The Martian, these movies where it's just that one person. Sports movies are the greatest movies, in my opinion, of when you get knocked down and you can get back up, and you face these big old challenges and hurdles, and you pull yourself up. But I think movies like The Martian and Castaway epitomize those even more, when it's just that single person. It's just them by themselves. They have no one else, no other life form around them, a human being to communicate with, nobody else to count on but themselves. And all they can go off is the skills, the knowledge, everything they've garnered, and pull themselves in deep to say, I'm either going to die right here, everything's going to end, cry, woe is me, let me just get it over with and be done. Or they say, you know what, this is not the end. This is not the end all be all. And what do they do in these movies? They pull themselves up, they dig deep, they start using their brain, they start utilizing all of the resources they have around them. You got to work with what you got, right? And in the end, it ends up a happy situation where they've overcome all of this adversity. They scratched tooth and nail, barely made it, but they made it. And now they move on to becoming an even bigger, well-known person than they were before, and have made a positive impact on the world, life, all this and that, right? So how does that play into your business? Is that, like I said, when these things happen to you, when you face those adversities, yeah, you're going to have people you can, look to for support, people to pull you up, your team, your system, all the things that you absolutely should plug into. But when it first hits you, it was just going to be you. And you're going to feel that sting. You're going to feel that burn of that disappointment. You're going to feel that burn of, damn, I've put 3 hours in and I lost all of that content. Why am I doing this? You're going to question yourself. Self-doubt is going to try to creep in and make you look at, why are you doing the things that you do? Why are you on this path of being an entrepreneur? Why do you want to live this lifestyle? Why don't you want to be in the 97%? You want to be in the 3%, right? Because that's what it's about, the 3%ers. So how do you get in that 3%? Part of it is that when these challenges come up, you have, hey, Yvonne, when these challenges come up, guys, you have to understand is that you have to, when you get put into a corner, you got to come out swinging. You got to fight back. And sometimes you got to be able to laugh at yourself. You got to be able to know, to be a big enough person to sometimes just chuckle and say, man, this is a part of it. There's nothing I can do about it. Okay, I forgot to record that video for my sales letter or whatever. All right, we're back to the drawing board. Back to the drawing board. And that's what it's about. You got to pull yourself back up and keep going. I heard Ryan Cody McMorris talk about this. And he talked about how and it's so funny. I did this the other day too. It's crazy. So I'll just talk about it. I had a big giant spider on my porch. Huge spider, right? And I had to get him off because I don't know if he's poisonous or not. So what ended up happening, I sprayed him with some bug spray or whatever, and I knocked him down. And he was so strong, hanging down on his web. He was just swinging back and forth. And I thought he was going to hit the ground and just be on about his way. This spider actually literally just started rewebbing whatever he was doing, pulled himself all the way back up into that same spot that he was at before. And I just stood there amazed because of how fast and how he did it. He didn't think about, I knocked down his foundation, this beautiful web that he created. He just started going back to work. And that's how we have to do. When things hit us, when things knock us off our pedestal, when we get knocked down, it's just about getting up and going back to work. You can sulk, be upset, somebody quit. you know, you forget to do a big part of content or something, if something happens, sit there, oh, man, think about it for 60 seconds, don't give it too much thought. Guess what? Get back to work. Because just keep thinking on it and harping on it is not going to make it better. So you have to understand, you have to get back to work. You have to keep working. You got to understand that only two paths you can choose. You're either going to work somebody else's path of them or you're going to work your path. And when I say that, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to work a job for the rest of your life, I know I don't. If you want to work a job for the rest of your life and be on somebody else's path, because that's what you're doing. If you're building somebody else's dream, if you don't put yourself on the path to build your own, those are the only two options you have. That's the reality of it. And I get some people do love their job. They love what they do. They're passionate about it, and that's perfectly fine and dandy. But if you have bigger things that you want to do for yourself, I'm not saying you don't, along with your job, I'm not saying that at all, but if you want to keep working your job, but you still have the passion, desire to build big and great things for yourself, independent of your job, whether you love it or not, whatever, you got to understand is that you have to stay on course. You have to stay on path, even when you might get knocked down. You got to get back up and understand that disappointment, setbacks, those are all a part of the game. Is all a part of the process. It's all about how you handle it. Be like that spider. You get knocked down, get back up, just get back to work. Don't give it too much thought. Don't give it too much thought, guys. And that's all I have for you guys. So remember to stay consistent and persistent, guys. Be resilient. You don't give disappointment and setbacks too much thought. Focus on the solution, not the problem. Dig deep within yourself to say, okay, how can I get better? How can I make this right? How can I keep moving forward? Because there is nothing else. So I appreciate you guys hopping on. Rachel, Cassandra, Yvonne, whoever else hopped on, thank you for the likes and hearts, guys. I appreciate you all. I hope you all are having a phenomenal Friday. I truly hope you all got some value from this. I appreciate it. But guys, for anybody who is not connected with me and you want to connect with me, you can head over to my blog at eddieLharvey.com to learn more about me, and also have some goodies over there, some free, more mindset, as well as free marketing trainings, tools, and techniques that can help you in your business. So I appreciate you guys. You all have a wonderful and phenomenal day, and I will talk to you later. Take care.